House prices in Byron Bay have soared, and it seems that Chris Hemsworth might have something to do with it. The actor is currently building a $9 million mega mansion with his wife Elsa Pataky in the coastal town, which now has the median property price that is higher than a lot of Sydney. Buyers agent Zoran Solano joins me now from Brisbane. Zoran, thanks for being with us. Chris Hemsworth spending up big on a property in Byron, is that really enough to move the whole property market there?
Oh, look, I think it's great clickbait, but no, I don't think so. I think in this instance, there's a lot of other economic factors that are participating in this growth, but I honestly think that Chris Hemsworth's doing a great thing for the publicity of the area and is definitely having some sort of influence. Whether we can actually quantify that, that's another story, but I'd say that there's definitely a correlation, 100%.
So all of these Instagram posts that he and his wife do and kind of the great ambassadors that they've become from this part of the world, is that the part of it that they really have power over? Or are they just riding this wave that Byron Bay seems to be on more broadly, Zoran?
I like the pun there, mate. Wave and Byron Bay, very well done. Mate, look, I think that when you've got 23.8 million Instagram followers, anything you take a photo of becomes interesting, and people are interested in that. I think a lot of companies would love that exposure for their product. This product just happens to be the lifestyle that goes along with Byron Bay and that Australian beach lifestyle, which I think is having a positive influence not only on Byron Bay but a lot of Australian tourism as well. We've already seen a lot of international stars coming out of LA and holidaying here with the likes of Chris, and I think it's all sort of positive signs for that market.
So is it just the prestige property end of Byron Bay that's doing well at the moment, or is this a kind of a town-wide thing?
Yeah, so look, what we're seeing is it's pretty far spread, not only in Byron Bay but the surrounding areas and the hinterland as well, which offers a really great lifestyle benefit. You know, you're only a short drive realistically to the likes of Coolangatta Airport and obviously Brisbane as well. So look, I think that both the high and the low end will start to benefit more and more from what we're seeing, the Instagram effect of Hemsworth, but I think also there's still buying opportunities in that market, and some of my colleagues who operate in that area are seeing increased amount of interstate interest in the suburb and in the area as well, as people look to make a sea change, which I think is a phenomenon that we're starting to see again through this property cycle.
Zoran, I totally hear you that this is bigger than just the Hemsworth here, but I kind of do still wonder. I mean, if a famous person moves to the end of your street, is it a bankable thing that your property and the properties around that might become more expensive as people want to be close, or the kind of, I guess, yeah, the Instagram factor? I mean, can you actually bank on this sort of thing?
No, I don't think you can. If you're a wise investor looking for long-term growth, you know, I really don't think that this one-off phenomenon is going to be able to support your property portfolio by any means. I think it has both positive and negative effects. Some people previously, go back many years, loved the seclusion and anonymity that Byron Bay provided. It was a bit of an unknown spot to most people outside of the surfing community, really. So I think now bringing it mainstream, the feedback that I've gotten from my buyer's agent colleagues who work in the area is there's actually a lot of mixed feedback from the suburbs around there and actually houses adjoining the Hemsworth compound. It is a monstrosity. If you can look at some photos, it is a huge, huge dwelling, and it absolutely dwarfs everything around it. And so for some property owners in the area, it's not such a great thing, and it's probably some publicity they may not want.
Yeah, we're seeing some pictures there now. Unbelievable. It looks like it's going to, yeah, well and truly be the biggest place in Byron. Are there any other locations in Australia, Zoran, that kind of fit this bill, the social influence, the kind of the really, you know, Googleable type of places, the escapism that ends up moving the property market there?
Yeah, definitely. I think probably for Sydney side is one of the most well-known areas would be Bondi, obviously. It's probably one of the most photographed beaches in the world, definitely in Australia. And by extension, those eastern suburbs of Sydney, which have that high socio-economic demographic, you have a lot of wealthy individuals, celebrities who reside in that area, and I think that all of that plays into that social demand. We also see a similar thing occurring on Queensland's Sunshine Coast, specifically at Noosa and Sunshine Beach. Noosa Heads is again an area that has grown significantly, and we've featured it on the Auction Day program on Saturday as well, discussing it as one of the hot areas here in Queensland with strong growth. And I think that this social phenomenon is definitely something that's pushing that, and that Instagrammability, if that's even a word. That photo capture on Instagram is definitely helping that market.
Yeah, Zoran, I happen to know that the Hemsworths are from Phillip Island, which is a little place on the Victorian coast. I don't suppose that is seeing the same sort of growth that Byron Bay is, where he currently lives. So, yeah, very interesting there. Zoran, thank you very much for joining us. Terrific to have you with us. Zoran Solano is a buyer's agent based out of Brisbane. Thanks very much, mate.